Tonight, the president is now waging a PR battle over the extremely tight Florida midterm races. A source close to the president telling CNN the president is, quote, on a warpath. That was made clear in a series of tweets that he sent while aboard Air Force One on his way to France. In one tweet, he writes this: Rick Scott was up by 50,000 plus votes on Election Day. Now they, quote unquote, found many votes, and he is up only 15,000 votes. The Broward effect. How come they never find Republican votes? This as the governor of Florida sued election officials in 2 counties, alleging that they broke federal and state laws. Right now, Rick Scott is ahead of his rival, Senator Bill Nelson, by just under 15,000 votes. That's where it stands at the moment. Let's get the latest. Out front now with me is Bill Scher. He's one of the attorneys representing Governor Scott. Mr. Scher, thanks for coming in.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Regarding the 2 lawsuits that you filed against the election supervisors, the judges ruled in your favor, and there was a 7 p.m. deadline tonight to get the records that you requested from Broward County. Did you get it all?
Well, I'm over here with you, so I'm hopeful that they got records that were ordered when the judge found that the constitutional rights of my client had been violated by the secrecy and what was going on in the local Broward office of the supervisor of elections. So, you know, we'll see. It's going to be nice to have some transparency.
Transparency is good. If you get the records with the information that you will have, is it then just a waiting game until the initial vote counts are finalized at by noon tomorrow?
Well, it'll be a waiting game to see. There's going to be a recount for sure. And yeah, it's a waiting game, but I've been in the canvassing board all day watching ballots that are being brought out that we didn't have from before or know about. Last night when we left at about 10 o'clock, we were supposed to have been finished. And of course, we weren't, and there's more ballots coming. And, you know, I'm sort of used to this. I represented the president in the recount back in 2000, and it's kind of the same thing. I mean, I was across the table from Judge Rosenberg, the famous magnifying glass that you have on your website right now. I was on the other side of that table when they brought in boxes of more ballots that were, you know, the hanging Chad variety.
Well,
it seems like it's deja vu all over again.
There is certainly a lot of deja vu going on. But you said that that there is going to be a recount for sure. So that you are accepting that there is definitely going to be a recount at this point.
Well, yes, because the law says that when it's this close, there's a machine recount, and then if it gets closer still, there's going to be a hand recount of the ballots that were overvoted and undervoted. So, yeah, we're fully expecting it.
Let me play for you what the governor said last night about the vote count.
We've all seen the incompetence and irregularities in vote tabulations in Broward and Palm Beach for years. Well, here we go again. I will not sit idly by while unethical liberals try to steal this election from the great people of Florida.
A problem with incompetence, maybe, but do you all have proof that liberals are trying to steal the election or there's rampant fraud, as the governor has also said?
Well, let me state it this way. I've been sitting over there watching, kind of like I did 18 years ago, and I'm seeing that this county is the last county to report the results. They still haven't reported the results. They ignore the rules. They ignore the law. They're found to be unconstitutional today. And you have to wonder, what's happening? Why is the door remained open? Why haven't they counted them and told us what was going on? So the opportunity there is there. And I can tell you, we saw fraud in the last couple of days where 30 people voted twice. Other people voted that they weren't registered. Some people voted other people's ballots. And so those are fraudulent activities. And so you wonder if Brenda Snipes, our supervisor of elections, can even, listen, let me just finish this. You wonder if she's even capable of if the fraud we see right there, I mean, how much more is there going on there, and why do we not have transparency? Why is this all done in secrecy? So you have incompetency and secrecy And it makes everybody nervous, doesn't it? And it would make you nervous if you were representing a client and you had to explain to them, my goodness, yes, I can't tell you what's going on because they're keeping it in secret. And yeah, you won by 50,000 votes.
Well,
and so that's, the point.
Yes, wonder maybe, but proof and evidence, as the governor seemed to represent it last night, that is something different. I really appreciate your time, though.
Well,
Let's see what happens. Let's see what. We do.
Yeah, listen, it isn't.
No.
There were double votes.
Well, then, why didn't the Florida Law Enforcement Office, did they hear from the Secretary of State that they had nothing more, that there was nothing to investigate in terms of a problem? So there is clearly a difference of opinion on this tonight, but we do need to leave it there. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Appreciate your time. Let's see what happens next.
All right.